Hello everybody and welcome to Escaped Reality. My name is Ghostboy259. You might be asking yourself, what is Escaped Reality? It's kind of the after show podcast. Every video... Am I talking like way too... screw it. We're going to keep going. Natural. Every video uploaded to the channel will have an accompanying Escaped Reality episode where we'll chat about it, we'll clear up misconceptions, make any corrections if we made any errors in the video, and we'll also answer some of your comments. Now, if you're a fan of the edited and produced essay videos, such as the Idol video, the only other video on the channel, this might not be for you. However, worry not, I can't give you the exact date because we're recording this in advance to when this is uploaded, obviously, because I have to work on it, and I don't know when I'm putting this up, but 1 week to the date that this is uploaded, there will be a new What Makes a Good Blank video, and you can see a teaser of that at the end of this one. So... 1 week from whatever day this is uploaded, that will be uploaded. I don't know when I'm uploading.
It could be tomorrow.
This.
It could be the day after.
It could be tomorrow. And you might be wondering, who the heck is with me right now? We'll get into that in a second. Today we're discussing... Oh, never mind. According to my notes, I'm introducing you next.
Oh, cool.
We're being joined by Reality Escape member Gundamfang.
I want you to know that I have not seen him practice that, and I think that was a very good first take.
Thanks. I didn't practice it at all.
Wait, did or didn't?
I did not.
Okay, yeah, that's what I figured.
If you want to see more of Gundamfang, you can see him over on Jafferdub. Jafferdub is our Let's Play channel. It's currently like semi-inactive, but we're going to be booting it back up in the summer, and it's not like our main focus, but it's just we play games and have fun. So if you like us, come check us out. If not, no big deal. Hang around here. Also works.
It's your life. Do you.
Do you. That's kind of like the theme of Reality Escape is you do you, man. We're going to be discussing idle games in general, but more specifically, we're going to be making a lot of references to the YouTube video I did, which at this time has about 80,000 views, called What Makes a Good Clicker Game. And so if you haven't seen that yet, it'll be the first link down in the description. It'll probably help if you watch that first. If you're subscribed, you most likely watched it because how else did you find us? But if... you haven't, for whatever reason, you haven't seen it. Maybe you've stumbled upon this first and you're thinking a 45-minute discussion on clicker video games or whatever. Go watch the video first. That'll probably help you understand some of the references that we're going to be making.
I don't know what you're talking about. The first thing I do when I see a movie is I don't watch it. I buy the Blu-ray, and then I watch all the special features and the commentaries on it, and then I watch the movie itself.
Right, of course. Yeah, so if you haven't watched, assuming you're back, hey, did you watch the video? Did you like it? Thanks. Maybe you didn't. Why are you still here? Cool.
Hey, I mean, as long as you're having a good time, that's all that matters.
So I guess we'll just get into the discussion part here. I have a couple of topics and stuff that we can talk about. First off, though, Fang, you were actually in that video. I don't even know did I ask permission to use that clip of you?
I mean, I would have given it regardless.
I don't think I asked. Anyway, before Jafferdub, we had another Let's Play channel called Stuttering Archaeology, which for some reason got 4 subscribers last week. So
very inactive.
Yeah, very inactive. Hasn't uploaded in about a year. Anyway, there's a clip of us playing Clicker Heroes in 2015, which that's when it was uploaded. It might have been recorded even earlier than that, but I'm pretty sure 2015 sounds about right.
Yeah, it was a while ago.
It was a long time ago. It was about 4 years ago. And you kind of played the role of like the hater for me because I felt like if I went on and was like, oh, people hate clicker games, and then I talk about me liking them, it didn't really seem genuine. I needed someone to not like them. I made you the villain. No one was upset at you. But why don't we go ahead and play that?
I like how you're throwing that out at me, like we talked first and planned it. No, I legitimately went in, and that was a genuine reaction.
Yeah, I think
to the genre
I hit record before I even played the game. I had no idea what it was. I was just because I was playing Cookie Clicker. Anyway, before we get too much into it, we're gonna play that clip both for us right now and for you guys who are listening. So. Let's listen to that. Fang is mad at me because I'm playing Cookie Clicker, and I was like, we should play Cookie Heroes, Clicker Hero. I forgot what it's called. Clicker Heroes?
Yeah.
Yeah. And now he's like, whatever.
I don't...
Now, check, I'm in level 2, so they're a little bit more powerful.
So what, you just click more?
Yeah. See, but I get more gold when I kill them.
A lot of these monsters look the same.
Well, yeah.
Exactly the same.
But they're a higher level.
Exactly. The same.
Pokemon don't look different when they level up all the time. So you have to wait till they evolve. They go to a certain level because you need to appreciate clicker games. Because obviously there's an audience for them. Like people really enjoy this stuff. And see, look, it's a little harder, a little slower.
Oh wow, it's like you're clicking it more.
Yeah, it's a little slower to kill, but I mean it's still pretty good.
So different from level 2.
Look at all the gold I'm collecting though, dude. Now look, I can hire Tree Beast. Look at all the damage. Look, now it's doing damage for me. I don't even have to be here. I can leave the game. And it's doing damage for me.
So you don't even have to click.
Yeah, now this is the late.
The one thing the game has, you don't even have to do anymore.
This is the meta game.
It's been 2 minutes.
It's a lot like Cookie Clicker.
It's been 2 minutes, and you don't even have to play anymore.
It's a lot like Cookie Clicker. 19-year-old me was really fun to hang out with, huh?
I mean, I didn't have strong opinions either.
The best part about that video is that it's like 45 minutes long of the same joke. At one point, you leave the room for like 20 minutes. I don't know what you were doing. What you like got up and left, and I kept like sarcastically going like, "Oh man, this is amazing." I put 7,000 hours into it after that video. I never stopped playing. I said I would keep playing till I got all the achievements. I almost had all except for one. And then they added more, and I said, nope, I'm done. Done with this, done with you. We had a very healthy breakup. So, Fang, as a hater of clicker games, you sat through the video. You've watched it, I think, like twice now all the way through, probably. Yeah. Because once when it first came out, and I asked you to watch it again last night. Has your opinion changed at all?
It has.
It's okay if you say no.
It has a little bit, and I think it has in the most important way.
Because it got me views. No.
Oh, man. Okay, so I myself would not enjoy playing a clicker game or an idle game. It's simply not a genre for me. However, in recent days, I have come to view it as a more legitimate gaming genre.
Right.
With legitimate people. People can enjoy what they want to enjoy, and there's no reason for me to say what you can and can't, and whether it's good or bad. I mean, as long as you're not hurting people, who cares?
It's funny, too, because, like, these games, like, they're so simple, but at the same time, they get so complicated. It's just, like, I think what may be doing it for you is the reason you don't like it is there's, like, even when there's a story, there's no story, right? It feels like everything is meaningless.
Well,
in a way.
The two biggest things I've always pulled from games for myself is story-heavy games.
Yeah.
I'm not a huge RPG person, but I love Knights of the Old Republic because the story was awesome.
Right, and I'm a huge RPG person, but I also play more single-player games than multiplayer games. I don't play anything that doesn't have, like, a story attached to it, really, except for, like, Rocket League.
Yeah, and then my second favorite genre, I guess this is my first favorite genre, with stories being a good story being number 2, is my first favorite thing is strategy. Like real-time strategy is what I practically grew up on as a kid, and like the Pokemon jab in that clip cut me deep because it's still one of my favorite games.
Yeah, well, I also I brought up at this point as well, and I'll bring it up again later because we have a comment that's related to it. But there's not really much of you can't really lose, right? In this, and some people will be like, okay, well, you can't lose. You have to be able to lose for it to be a game. And then people will be like, Life is Strange isn't a video game because you can't lose. Life is Strange. To which I say you absolutely can if you choose the wrong ending. But there's very little punishment for if you mess something up. It's very forgiving. As soon as like you make a wrong click, it's like, okay, well, now I just have to wait 15 more seconds and I'll have all that money back and I can just continue with what I was doing.
Yeah, and sometimes it's nice to play a game with no stakes. And again, this is probably one of the reasons why the games don't appeal to me as much. I go through a lot of my games adding rules to things to make them cost more, like to make things matter more. Like, I've played XCOM and XCOM 2, and I think between the two of them, I played one playthrough where I didn't have Iron Man saves on, so I couldn't go back to change my mistakes.
And going back to the Pokemon thing, you're a Nuzlocke fan, which, if I'm correct, means you can only have one type of Pokemon. No, you can only, if you see the Pokemon once, you can only, I don't know. So, can you explain it?
Yeah, so a Nuzlocke has two primary rules, self-imposed rules that the game doesn't have in and of itself, that you have to keep in force as a player. The first one is you can only catch the first Pokemon you see in any given area. So like you go onto the first route, the first thing you see, that's the only thing you can catch. If you faint it, too bad. The second rule is that if a Pokemon faints in your party, it is considered dead. You either have to release it or box it forever. You cannot use it again. So it forces you to, first of all, use Pokemon. And when there's Sword and Shield is coming out at the end of the year. And so, I mean, we're probably going to, I'm betting we're going to almost hit that 1,000 mark. I don't think we're going to breach it this gen. But, there's like over almost 900 of the things. And so It forces you to use ones you wouldn't normally use, and then it forces you to form emotional bonds and attachments to this piece of digital data.
And you can like technically lose the game. Like you could be stuck in a place and be like, oh, I can't surf or fly anymore, so I guess I'm done, right?
Yeah, sometimes with things like that,
they're a little lenient on the rules.
Oh yeah, like the thing about a Nuzlocke
well,
is
and they're self-imposed rules, so really no one's enforcing you to do it.
Oh yeah, so like for example, people like there are like a ton of variant rules that people go with. Some people say no healing items, which is what I do. No healing items in battle. I know someone who did like a no Pokemon Center run, so like they could only. Yeah, I know I shudder to think of that. But what I like doing is I like going in blind.
Yeah.
So like for the last like 3 games that have come out, or 3 sets of games, I've gone in blind. I've looked up nothing in advance. I've only looked at the starters. That's like some people say that you have to choose your starter randomly. I have a system with one of my siblings where we alternate grass and water, so I adhere to that because we had that in place long before we started Nuzlocking.
Yeah.
But yeah, like aside from that, it's all up to you. It's your Nuzlocke, so it's your rules.
And to not to get too far into the Nuzlocke conversation, just talking about consequences in gaming. Like I do the same thing. I recently picked up Skyrim again. Well, not like recently. Like I haven't played it in like a year. But when I picked it up again, because I played it when it first came out, then I was done with it. And then when I picked it up again, there's a survival mod where it's like you have to sleep, you have to eat, you have to bundle up if you're in the winter, and you have to rest and all this stuff, right? And I found like the consequences of that like a lot more. It made the game more exciting. I had to like think more things out. I couldn't like fast travel anywhere. So it's like, okay, if I'm going there, I have to have fur with me, and I have to make sure I have cooked meat with me, or if I can make a fire somewhere, kind of thing. Whereas idle games, which we're talking about, let's not get too carried away. Idle games, there's none of that. There's no strategy. You click a button, and then you click more things, and then more complicated things happen, and then bars fill up, and then little things and upgrades happen, and suddenly you've made little to no progress, and you have to do it again.
But there's still a sense of progress, which I think is one of the key things here, is that there are some game genres where you can spend hours and feel like you're not getting anywhere, whereas with a good idle game, you almost always feel like you're making some kind of progress.
And I agree with that too, because I think that's why people like it so much. I mean, the original idea of the video was to explain to why people like it, but I think most people know why they like it. People like rewards, right? People like being like, oh yeah, without even trying, I like blew past these levels. Me personally, yes, you're always making progress. The progress is so little and meaningless though. And then you want more and more because you're like, oh, that's all I gained while I was gone, but I could do so much more if I was actively playing. And then it's like 4 a.m. and you're like, I have work in 4 hours. So, or when I was working mornings, it was I have work in 10 minutes. So, but you can, I mean, you definitely see there is like a merit behind it, right? Like, and they're not all the same as well, which I think is really important because there's so many different varieties and stuff. And there's like, I mean, I'd be willing to bet we could probably find an idle game that you would like. I know specifically there's a Pokemon one. I'm not saying that like we're gonna do that because that would take forever to play every single one to find one that you could be like, yeah, I'll come back tomorrow and play. And I don't want you to because I'm trying to quit them because I'm having a problem with them and I'm not doing anything else except for playing these. But it really is a matter of just finding the one that kind of works with your style and whatnot, right? And then to bring up your point as well before, it's really just easy to pick up. It's simple. It's not like you have to make like a big deal. You don't have to like, okay, I'm going to get 12 of my friends together and we're going to play Clicker Heroes, right? You just do it on your own. If you want to play something but you're not like super aware or awake of what's going on, you can just like open it up and at least you feel like you're doing something. Oftentimes when I was watching YouTube videos, I would have a game open just so I was doing something because I'm a part of a generation where I can't put anything down for more than 6 seconds. I have to be doing something. The problem was when I started watching more YouTube videos about things I didn't care about as an excuse to keep playing the game.
Which comes to one of the which comes to a thing that I personally think applies to literally everything in life is, everything in moderation. There's a balance. So I just kind of want to throw in there that the games can consume you, but at the same time, if you can but that can be said of literally anything.
Right.
I knew someone who
talking to a dude that's played RuneScape for almost like 13 years.
Yeah, I mean, that
game has no rewards whatsoever. Every time I play, I'm like, okay, so I've clicked some more and nothing's happened, and I feel like less of a human being now. So what have I accomplished? I still play, so I'm not making fun of anyone who plays. I was playing last night.
Yeah, I mean, I just want to throw it out there that I'm not sitting on like some high horse. No, I've done the same thing. I remember remember this not interrupting thing?
All right, sorry, go on.
Yeah, you're the one editing.
Yeah.
When Star Wars Battlefront 2 came out, I literally spent like 2 days just playing it. I hardly slept. I hardly ate. It was just that for like 2 days straight.
Talking about the PlayStation 2 one?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Oh yeah, like I played that game way too much.
Yeah.
And like looking back on it, I remember going back and trying to pick it up. I'm like, man, there isn't that much to do in this game. But it's just everyone's passionate about something, and there's something that can pull people in.
If you get enjoyment out of it, it's not a bad thing. Like, if you like the games and you like, yeah, I love doing this and I love playing this, no one's upset at you for it. Well, people might be upset. They're wrong. Oh, yeah. Their opinions are wrong. You're allowed to enjoy something. It's just when you realize that it's like settling for less in a way. Like, that's what I was kind of doing too, because I would like have Clicker Heroes open. Okay, so let's be honest. The reason I stopped playing Clicker Heroes was not willingly. It was because I started getting more into video making and other stuff, and I needed my computer's power when it was on, and I didn't want to leave it on overnight. So if I was leaving it on overnight, I was normally rendering something. So I didn't want to just have my rendering slow down completely and drain all the internet and stuff just because I had this stupid Clicker game open, right? So, but once I was out of it for like a week, I was good. Once I like deleted it and I was like, okay, I can't play this anymore. And with a lot of the idle games that I played for the video, that was what I had to do. I had to delete my save. So I'm like, okay, now I can't go back to it, right? And it kind of got to me too, because I would think like, okay, Skyrim is a pretty popular game. It's not the best game in the world, but if you said, would you rather play Clicker Heroes or Skyrim, I would probably tell you Skyrim 100% of the time. And for some reason, I wasn't. I was clearly choosing other games over it. You know, I guarantee you at least once or twice someone asked me to play a game with them, and I said no because I would have rather had played a Clicker game instead. Once again, nothing wrong with that if you enjoy it, but don't like settle for less. Don't like limit yourself and think like this is the best game that I can play, right?
Well, I think the key thing is drawing the line of when something you enjoy pulls you to a point where it's hindering you in important aspects of life, like your health and social.
Right. I was staying up till 2 a.m. on like days playing this when I was working or when I was going to school, and it was like, why? I couldn't tell you why. I would just be like, okay, well, if I can hit this point before I sleep, then I'll be better off when I wake up in the morning. And it was like, okay, but I would still be okay if I just went to sleep now. But my brain couldn't process that. It was like, I have to get over this one hill. And then as soon as you get over that hill, you see a slightly bigger hill. And you're like, oh, if I get over that hill, camping there will be a lot better. Then you see a slightly bigger hill. It's like, okay, but imagine the view on the other side of that hill. I'll camp over there. And you just keep doing that.
So yeah, I got over this 50 meter tall hill, and on the other side is a 52 meter tall hill, and you climb 50. What's another 2?
Right? And it's like you know that the camping spot's going to be way better over that hill, so you might as well just go for it. I mean, it's less you have to do tomorrow, except the game never ends, and you just keep doing it, and there's no reward for it. I mean, there's some reward for it, but I don't know. And It's I feel like we're kind of I think we've been pretty good not judging people who play these games. I don't have an issue with it. I understand it's addictive. They're made to be addictive. You know, you have all those science studies that are like, oh, they put things in video games to make it addictive, so you want to keep playing them. This is like the epitome of that. This is like the center of that. Like, if I had money to like fund like a scientific research, I'd love to see one on this, because everyone is different and everyone kind of works a different way. And I'm curious to all those people who say they don't have a problem if they actually do and they're denying it. Like, if you're playing an idle game for more than 5 hours a day...
I mean, that can be said of literally anything. Are you doing blank for more than 5 hours a day?
If you're sleeping for more than 5 hours a day, you're addicted and you need help.
You're addicted to... I wish I could be addicted to sleep, man.
Dude, I go to sleep and all I do is think about, like, Clicker Heroes, man. I gotta play again. That's not true. But it really is like, it really feels like, I'll tell you what right now, the accomplishment that you feel when you hit like a new level is nowhere near the accomplishment you feel when you stop playing the game. Like, it's not like a moment that hits you, but like whenever I go into Steam, I still have Clicker Heroes in my favorites, so I can just look at that and be like, look at that thing I don't touch anymore. Look at the 7,000 hours I wasted on that. And I thought you could say, oh, well, if you enjoyed it, it's not wasting. I spent money on Clicker Heroes, you know?
But you have the mindset of even in free to play games.
If I put enough hours into it, I feel like the developers have earned it at that point.
Yeah, like there comes a point where they've earned something, so it's not about paying to get ahead. It's about showing a little bit of support.
Yeah, like we did that with Brawlhalla, because we played Brawlhalla quite a bit, and then we were like, okay, well, let's buy some skins because we're playing it all the time anyways. We did it with Payday 2. We played a ton of Payday 2.
Yeah, and so it's just throwing it's not like, oh yeah, they need our money to survive, but it's like,
I mean, some of them do.
Yeah, I mean it's good, but it's good showmanship.
Yeah,
it's good. Like, I enjoyed this thing, and so I'm going to throw some money at it because hey, that shows interest, like, which is something that, and that's a side tangent I'm just not going to get into.
Yeah, don't worry about it. But yeah, no, I mean, I think when I spent money on it, that was like my low point. Because I was like, I didn't spend that much, but I basically made a mistake in the game, and if I was patient enough, I could have not spent money. But there was a part of me that was just like, I need to do this now, and I think that's when I realized that, like, oh, okay, this is like affecting me like on a psychological level that I'll never be able to comprehend, and I need to back away. So naturally, I made a video about it where I praised all the games, and more people commented saying, oh, I started playing again thanks to you. I'm like, that's not what I was trying to do at all. I'm happy that you're happy, but don't.
But yeah, it's recognizing. I hope that if there's one thing anyone takes away from this podcast, it's recognize what you can enjoy to a healthy degree and enjoy that to that healthy degree.
Right. We're not trying to tell you how to live your life or like to enjoy these games or not enjoy these games. We're simply just saying sometimes take a step, and I think you should do this in all aspects of your life. Every once in a while, just take a step back, figure out what the heck you're doing. There's a motivational speaker whose name I don't remember. He's on YouTube. I showed you this clip before, and he talks about how make a list of your personal goals and make a list of your career goals, and then make a list of all the people you talk to within a week. Basically, assign each person on that list to one of the goals. And if you have a person on that list who doesn't match any of your goals, career-wise or personal-wise, why are you talking to them? Why are you wasting time with them? What are they doing in your life? They're not going to help you get anywhere. And that seems kind of selfish because it's like, oh, what if that list is like... the list, your personal list could be like, I want to feel loved, right? So if you have someone who's on the list and they don't make you feel loved, then why are they there? If they're not there for monetary gain or personal gain. So and the reason I bring that up is because I think it's important every once in a while to do stuff like that, to take a step back, look at your life, say, okay, what am I doing? How can I analyze stuff? I guarantee you that out of 80,000 people who watched my video, I'll bet you like 100 people probably could have made the exact same video, but they were too busy playing clicker games. And I'll bet you there are people out there who are into this stuff, but they play these games, and they're like, man, if I just stopped playing these games, I would make tons of stuff, but they don't. Like, go work out at a gym for like 30 minutes instead of playing a clicker game for 30 minutes, and like the benefits will be outstanding. And it's, like I said, not trying to say anyone has a problem, not trying to say shame on you for playing these games. I'm just saying take a look at your life, see if what you're doing is the best thing for you.
I think a good way to phrase it is you. Yeah, you, specifically you.
Yeah, he's pointing at me, but it means you.
Like, you. We're not talking about you specifically, whoever
right,
you
right,
may
right.
be.
It's you in general.
Yeah, like it's that sometimes it gets lost in translation. It's we're not talking about any one specific person who may or may not be listening. It's just garnering some knowledge and some wisdom just from seeing where these games have taken you and where they've affected you, and then obviously part of the race is what started us on this was my harsh opinion of it to begin with, right. which I think was wrong.
And here's the thing: you've changed, but you're still like cautious of it, right? Like if I told you to play a clicker game for like 2 days straight, I guarantee you the third day you would go back and play, even if I didn't tell you to.
Probably, yeah.
Right? Because that's how the game works. It's addictive, right? It does that on purpose.
Yeah, like, I'd like to imagine that, no, I'd have the strong will, but no, but people are people. I'd fall for it.
And you're a gamer. I
mean,
it's so you're naturally inclined to, like, I have to beat the game. If I'm going to put 2 days of effort into it,
I might as well, like, what's a third day?
But there's nothing to win. There's no... this is coming from someone who's played these games forever. I've never once felt a satisfying payoff from a clicker game. It eventually just hits a point where it's like, oh, I guess I'm done. There's no, like, climax to the story and then a drop off where you're done with it. It's a slow decline until you just realize that you're like, oh, like, that was it. You know, I clicked on that cookie so I could click on it some more. And
I've clicked that cookie a lot.
I had some fun along the way, but I could have been slaying dragons. I could have been working out. I could have been writing a new video. Let's get into some comments. I have some comments I've selected here that I'd like to get into. First one, not from anyone in particular. Why was blank game not mentioned? People are very dramatic if you don't mention their favorite game. There are some that were like, I am shocked and disappointed that my favorite game wasn't mentioned. Or like, well, the integrity of this list was thrown out the second this game wasn't mentioned. I'm paraphrasing and I'm not quoting anyone specifically because I don't want to attack anyone. The games that were mostly referred to that people told me I hadn't really talked about were NGU Idol, which I have since played and I'm trying to quit. Tap Titans, Realm Grinder, and Adventure Capitalist. I haven't played them all. The video wasn't a what are the best clicker games, it was what makes them good. I chose the ones that I had played, and I said these were what I like about them. Someone actually commented on Reddit that my video would have been better suited for developers than fans, but I think it's important for fans to know what makes certain things good to them, right? And some people disagreed with my opinions. That's fine. I'm glad you have your own. But I picked the games that I had played, and I told you why I thought they were good as opposed to ones I thought were not good.
Well, part of having expressing a personal opinion is making it personal. Exactly. Like it's hard to express an opinion about something about
objectively.
Yeah, like it's like, oh, what makes a good anything? Well, you can only speak from your own perspective on what you feel is good. I mean, right. We run into this all the time with Star Wars.
Yeah. Well, we'll dive into that in a little bit because that's actually the last comment I want to talk about.
Oh, cool, man!
Not exciting. Star Wars, but
no, but yeah.
Condo Slime commented on the video, and he brought up the fact that the Cookie Clicker mobile game is not made by the creators of the browser game. I didn't open them or play them. I looked at them in the store. You're correct. It's actually a knockoff that was just using the same name. I've had a bunch of people tell me since then that it's not the official one. I apologize, but most people saw that comment anyways. I don't think the people are going to be upset at me that I drove them towards a false thing. But anyway. I don't know how to say this name, so I apologize. Toksuyoral, I believe that's how you say it, said, it bothers the hell out of me whenever people refer to Cookie Clicker as Cookie Clickers. There is no S. I apologize for the hell that was once in you that has been bothered out of you. Someone else also pointed out that when I said big dig treasure clickers, it sounded like I said something else. I'm still very much finding my voice and my narration style. I did everything 3 times, and I naturally make a couple mistakes, and I don't pick up on them. But like 200 people liked that comment. So clearly some people were a little... I never thought that was something that people would get upset about, but I'll be more careful to make sure I say names in the future.
That'll be fun to cut out.
But thanks for bringing that to my attention. I got a lot of comments about idle games, clicker games, incremental games, and subgenres, and talking about differentiating between them. I'm not an expert. I haven't played every single one. And when you get into subgenres, that's where I leave the conversation. I like getting to that point in the conversation where you have a conversation about it, but as soon as it gets way too specific, I'm out. Good example, when anyone says they like metal music, and I'm like, yeah, I like metal music. I'm a metal fan. You would know me as a metal fan.
Yeah.
But then when they start listing okay, but you like post-hardcore, metalcore, deathcore, I'm like, I'm out. I like metal. I can't tell you subgenres. I don't care about subgenres. And for this specifically, there's just way too many. And some people didn't like that it was 30 minutes long already. You imagine me trying to list every single genre. Eventually, I'm just going to be naming individual games. They're all different. They're all unique. Find the one that works for you if you want to play it. But I haven't played every single one. I can't tell you every single genre. And I don't even know the difference for some of them. I can see that some you click more and some you don't, which is why I tried to be a little broad. But they have the same principle that and the end goal is to not do anything and still make progress. So I read off the Wikipedia page. What more do you want? Some people commented that the music was a little too loud. I have a hearing loss. I'm terrible with audio editing. I will make sure someone reviews this in the future. Apparently it was only like one section and only like 2 people commented, but I just wanted for people to know that I don't have perfect hearing, so it's hard for me to hear sometimes. So if it's too loud or too quiet, I'm going to have someone look at that from now on. Someone commented, a couple people commented, I said aminals.
Oh yeah, I thought that was intentional.
That was intentional. So I wrote this script back in like 2015, probably shortly after I started playing the Clicker Heroes game. It was originally filled with tons of jokes and humor because I was like, I'm going to be funny. I'm going to be like JonTron or something. Then I realized that wasn't the direction I necessarily wanted to go. As a result, most of the jokes I got cut out. Some I left in, like the cookie clickers turning into demon grandmas or whatever and being scared. Some I left in. Most I edited out in the end. Aminals, however, out of 3 takes, I said aminals every time, and I did not feel like saying just one word. So I said, screw it, I'll leave it in. It's amazing that people nitpicked at it and noticed it, and then thought I was like a child for it. Like how some people still say library, you know what I mean? Or like February, instead of like saying it February. Anyway.
Well, my thought is people have speech quirks, which the more you hear me, the more you realize I have some terrible ones.
Absolutely.
But, I've heard you say animals,
aminals. I say it as a joke, right?
Yeah,
I
say it as a joke, so I figured it was just in there because that way when it comes up again later, it's just consistent.
I just applaud people who actually paid attention to it. I thought it was funny that people noticed. But I say little things here and there. If you go watch on Jafferdub, the Let's Play channel, you see more of that, unfortunately. And the last comment I want to talk about here, which is this is kind of going back to what we were saying about we've had issues with Star Wars and people not liking certain movies of Star Wars. The Shades Guide 21 left my favorite comment, which was, in conclusion, the idle games are scary, but I like how you still allow people to have their opinions. Great guy, great review. I didn't say that just to inflate my own tires or to play my own horn, as some may say, or toot my own horn, or regardless,
Man, then horns. A lot of them getting tooted.
Right? Darn tootin' horns. I really feel like this is important to me because this is exactly what I want to do. I want to talk about games. I want to talk about things you can do in games. And I want you to be having your own opinion. I'm sure if you've been on YouTube long enough, even the last year, you have probably been recommended a video at some point that says, I'm not calling anyone out. I don't know who made it. I have not watched it. But there's a video that keeps popping up in my recommended that says, like, why The Last Jedi is a cinematic failure. Have you seen this?
Oh, yeah. I've looked at that title and gone, nah, man, I've got my opinion. I don't need yours.
Right. And that is exactly why I think that I want to create a positive place for people to talk about games that they like and not feel like... Here's the thing. In the Untitled Opinions, the guy who made that video, whoever he is, I'm sure he's a great guy. I've never spoken to him. I'm sure he has his own opinions, and he makes it clear that those are his own opinions. But if I love something and I want to hear more people talk about it, I don't want to go find negativity. I want to find positivity. I want to find people who can point out why I love things and be like, yeah, that's exactly why I like this.
Think about when you talk about things and when conversations you enjoy by things are never trying to convince people who don't want to be convinced or people who don't like it, and you're trying to convince them of why it's good.
Right.
It's the best conversations are always talking with like-minded people who enjoy it.
Right, and that's what I want to create the space for. I don't want to create a space where I know people are going to argue. I don't want to say, this game is objectively bad. In the video, I talk about a couple of clicker games I didn't like. One of the developers contacted me. Well, he commented on Reddit, and he said he made Fidget Spinner Idle. He said it was like, oh, it was funny. I made it in 2 days. I don't care. I felt terrible. I felt really, really bad when he left that, because I was like, you still made a game. I can't do that. And I said your game was bad in a video that's been seen by now 80,000 people. Back then it was like 1,000. I don't want to do that anymore. In future videos, I won't be having a bad section anymore, because it's just not what I want to do. If you like a game, if you like a Star Wars prequel movie, if you like The Last Jedi, I want you to like what you like. I don't want you to come here and be told why I think you shouldn't like something, why I think my voice and opinion is better than yours just because I can edit a YouTube video. I want you to come here and be like, yeah, I like these things. You like these things? Cool. We can like these things. I don't want people to live in a world where if you went and saw a movie, don't go read the reviews. Because you know you're gonna, like, you already have your own opinion. Don't read a review and then go see a movie as well. Go in with your own opinion. Like, if you see a movie is bad, go see the movie anyways and form your own opinion. If you agree, that's great. If you liked it, that's fine. I liked The Phantom Menace. It was my favorite Star Wars movie for a really long time. I got a lot of flack for it. I don't care. If you think it's bad, you can think it's bad. I can think it's good. And I will talk to people who think it's good about the movie. I won't, you know?
Oh, well, that's
it's not an argument or a debate. No one has to win.
Yeah, that's the key thing. Is conversation. A good conversation is not a debate. There are not winners and losers. There are participants.
Right.
Like what politics should.
And you can change your mind.
Oh, yeah, easily. Like, when I walked out of The Last Jedi, it was a tie, and I apologize that this was supposed to be a video on Clicker.
Well, we're
games,
talking about
but,
reality escape now in general.
Yeah, and so, like, I don't have the same field of experience there to pull from, so I'm going to pull from something that's come up a couple times, Star Wars.
Yeah.
I walked out of The Last Jedi without being, for a solid month, almost my favorite Star Wars film of all time. Mm-hmm. Since I've gone back and looked at it, yeah, I've realized that there are a couple things that there are flaws in it, some of which that I can overlook, it doesn't detriment, and some of which that, yeah, I can see where people are coming from. And so, it's coming to an understanding of, you have your opinion, but you aren't supposed to make other people have your opinion.
Right. There's no preaching here, right? I don't want people to see that I'm talking about a certain game and come over and they're like, oh, I love this game. And it's just me going like, this game is objectively bad and here's why. Because I don't think anything is bad. If you enjoy it, you enjoy it. You do you, man. Honestly. And that's what reality escape is. You know, we have all these different types of media. We have all these types of games and stuff that we enjoy that help us kind of escape the world for a bit. And if you love it and I don't like it, I don't want you to have to sit here and listen to me talk about why I don't like it. You know?
Yeah.
There are things I find disappointing in life. You know, like a good example, Kingdom Hearts 3 just came out, and someone was asking me like, oh, I heard it was terrible. So what did you think? And I was like, I don't hate things, right? And like, if I like it, I like it. I'm not gonna pick apart every little nitpicky thing. I'm not gonna dissect it and be like, well, you know, this one scene had this, which compromises the entire franchise. It's like, you know what? I enjoyed playing it, so therefore I like it. It doesn't have to be any deeper than that.
Yeah, like, I think a conversation should be, if, let's say there are, well, let's use metal as an example. Like, subgenres come up, and it's which genres do you like? And I think the conversation shouldn't be, well, why do you like that genre that I think is bad? And instead should be, well, these are the genres I think are good. What are the genres you think are good? And let's talk about why we like our genres.
Right. So, as that comes back to idle games, like what you like. If you don't like an idle game, that's fine. If you do like them, someone commented, like the video, doesn't make me want to play idle games. Wasn't the point. The point was just for me to talk about how I feel about them. And even though at the end, I told people, I flat out said in the video, I don't think you should play them. I'm not upset at anyone who does. I think if you enjoy them, enjoy them. But that'll conclude today's episode for Escaped Reality. So if you made it this far, thank you very much. There'll be one of these kind of types of podcast videos at the end of, well, not the end, basically after a big video is uploaded with different guests. Gundamfang, thank you for being the first guest on here.
Oh, I am happy to be here.
So keep in mind, next week there will be another video uploaded. We'll show a little teaser after that. But first, you can follow us on Twitter at RealityEscapeYT or at Ghostboy259. That's me. I run both of those. I think you're setting up one, but you don't have one quite yet. Not that you'll use it anyways.
Yeah, I spent a long time avoiding social media, so...
Yeah, you don't have to use it. Just get the names because it's cool.
Yeah.
And the last thing I just want to do is give honestly a big, sincere thank you. The video was up for about 2 months, and then the algorithm just blew it up. I had about 6,000 views by the end of February, and we're almost done March. We're like 10 days away from the end of March, and we're currently sitting at 80,000. I've got 1,700 subscribers, and the positivity has been absolutely overwhelming. A lot of people were like, I can't believe this is their first video, stuff like that. I've been making YouTube videos for like 12 or 13 years. Most of them have been deleted. Most of them never amounted to anything. None of them which you've ever seen. You've never seen anything I've ever done because it was never notable. I never had a video over 5,000 views. I never had a channel over 100 subscribers. So to have this and to have like such a positive comment section, like I've had people tell me like, yeah, I go and read your comments and everyone is like so nice. it's overwhelming for sure. I am definitely 1000% unworthy of all the praise you guys have been giving me. I don't deserve any of the attention I've gotten, but I'll gladly run with it anyways. And I will keep this train going, and I will try to make more stuff that you guys like. And Reality Escape is all about a conversation. We want to hear from you as well. So if one of us said something in this video that you don't agree with, you have your opinion, we're not going to attack you over it. Leave it down below. Maybe we'll have a conversation. Maybe we'll do even another follow-up one if there's enough comments or something. We want to hear from you. You know, we want to talk about things in games that you like, and hopefully I'll be covering them more in future videos. I know that this conversation seems very different than the first video, but this is kind of more what we're gearing towards. This is more the kind of things that we want to talk about. So if you're not on board, please stay anyways.
we want, like, okay, you may not want the attention, but we need it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I think as long as you're passionate about something, you can make it work. And a conversation is only fun if there's two participants. Otherwise, it's just a speech.
And Gundamfang and I have been friends for 14 years, so we've had enough of each other. So we'd like to have someone else enter and tell us why we're wrong.
Oh yeah, I'd love to hear why someone else loves Star Wars.
Why someone else? Because no one else really likes Star Wars. It's such a little small indie franchise that you just want to, someone out. There's got to be another fan somewhere. We're calling out to you. But no, thank you so much, sincerely. The support has been amazing. It's slowed down the last couple of days, not that I'm upset. Trying to stay humble and hungry at the same time. All the comments and feedback have been, like I said, very overwhelming, and just, it's been crazy. Like, it's only been like 2 or 3 weeks since it's kind of blown up, but it feels like I've been like in a weird spiral of positivity, and I don't know how to feel about it.
Positive.
Yeah, that's probably a good place to start. I'll try working on that. In the meantime, though, next week there will be a new video, and then the uploading schedule will be a lot quicker than that. My life has been absolutely insane these past 3 months. Many changes, but I'm going to start scheduling stuff and making sure that I'm at least getting a video out once a month, not including Escaped Reality. And then if you like Fang and I, and you like our dynamic, and you want more Fang, because he's not going to be in every video, go check out Jafferdub, our Let's Play channel, because we kind of casually talk, and sometimes we get into these weird philosophical questions as well.
Yeah, if you're going for a funny Let's Play duo, I'm just gonna warn you now.
It's not us.
Yeah, there are funnier people out there.
Yeah.
If you're looking for a mildly amusing Let's Play duo, yeah,
leave it on in the background and forget it's there.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Like that is, I honestly, perfect Jafferdub. Like, throw it on in the background.
So, that being said, hope you guys stuck around. Let us know what you think about the conversation. Idle games, addiction to idle games, games in general, I guess. And we will see you, I will see you next week anyway, with the next video. And here is like a 30-second little teaser of what that's going to be on. And we'll see you then. Back when I was 11 or 12 years old, my mother signed me up for some summer camps at a local university. The camps normally involved some really basic lessons in coding, which truthfully was more copying and pasting code into Flash. YouTube was fresh out, and everyone was talking about this Nintendo nerd guy and his hilarious video on an old Ninja Turtles game. But to end every day, the entire class would play in a huge game of Battlefield, or occasionally a group would go off to the side and play the popular Warcraft 3 mod, Defense of the Ancients. However, I was interested in another Warcraft 3 mod that no one else was interested in, and that was Tower Defense.